This is KGW News at noon.
Our latest wave of hot weather continues today with another day in the 90s. In fact, this will be our 21st day in the 90s already this summer. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis starts us off in the Weather Center. So Chris, another hot day today, but then a cool down begins tomorrow.
Yes. And I think most of us are looking forward to that cool down, which will arrive on Friday. To Drew's point, though, today will make 21 90-degree days at PDX this year. And that starts to move us into some rare air, by the way. That will tie us for sixth most 90-degree days recorded in any one year at PDX. And you see the next realm up is 24. My 7-day forecast kind of gets us closer to those numbers, but there is some relief before that next round of heat returns. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We have woken up to some cloud cover across the region, even some sprinkles here and there across western Oregon. The fine line in the back edge of the cloud cover seems to be hovering the western edge of the Willamette Valley, and that is having an impact on our temperatures right now. 78 degrees at PDX on the east side of Portland, but check this out. Forest Grove and Hillsborough are up to 86 as the sunshine has come out. It's 86 in Sherwood, 86 in Salem, Kaiser, 85 in McMinnville. So you can see that with any breaks in the cloud cover, which I do anticipate, temperatures will warm very quickly. So even though the east side of Portland is only in the upper 70s, as the clouds pull away, we will quickly warm, I think, into the mid-90s this afternoon. And then that will be it for this round of heat. We'll get a little bit of cooling as we head into the weekend. I've got more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we will get to Chris's 7-day here in a few minutes, but right now we want to jump into our top story this afternoon. It's an early morning shooting in Northeast Portland that injured 2 kids. So we're going to show you video from the scene of the shooting. Police say it happened around 3 o'clock this morning near the Rocky Butte Natural area. A 14-year-old boy was taken to the hospital and a 12-year-old was treated at the scene. We don't know if they were the intended targets of the shooting. We know bullets hit at least 2 homes and 2 cars. No arrests have been made, and police have not released any information yet about a suspect. KGW's Mike Benner is covering this story today, and he's going to bring us updates later today during the news at 4 p.m. Let's get to some of this afternoon's national headlines, starting with the National Football League. The NFL suspended Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson for 11 games and fined him $5 million. The league and the Players Association came to terms on the punishment earlier today. More than 24 women accused Watson of sexual misconduct during massage therapy sessions. Earlier this month, a former judge who was appointed by the league and the Players Union to hand down a punishment only suspended Watson for 6 games, but the league appealed that decision. Watson released a statement today apologizing for, in his words, any pain this situation has caused. Later, though, he also told reporters, quote, "I've been trying to tell my side of the story, but a lot of people just didn't pay attention to it." Watson can return to the field in Week 13 of the NFL season. That week, by the way, the Browns face his former team, the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, a federal judge is deciding whether to unseal the affidavit detailing the evidence that led to the FBI's search of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. The former president, Republicans, and members of the news media have all been pushing for that information to be unsealed. But the Justice Department says doing that could jeopardize the investigation.
If there's an ongoing criminal investigation, in other words, a legitimate law enforcement purpose for keeping an affidavit sealed, most judges would defer to that. In fact, I would say all judges would defer to that.
During their search of Mar-a-Lago last week, the FBI recovered 11 sets of classified documents, including some materials marked as top secret. The former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization is heading to prison for 5 months and will have to hand over a big chunk of money. Alan Weisselberg reached a plea deal with federal prosecutors today on tax violations. The Manhattan District Attorney says the Trump Organization gave Weisselberg off-the-books gifts like rent-free apartments and expensive cars, all of this without paying taxes. So, as part of today's deal, Weisselberg will have to pay close to $2 million in back taxes, interest, and penalties. He also has to testify at the Trump Organization's trial this fall.
We cut eyes. And I was like, oh, man, I'm dead. So he's like, come on, man, I'm not going to hurt you.
That man is describing the moment he came face to face with an armed suspect who had just shot at Portland police. It happened at this auto body shop in Southeast Portland. So the man we just heard from was a customer at the shop. He had no idea what was going on until the suspect came running inside the waiting area. And as KGW's Tim Gordon shows us, after he became a hostage, the customer went to great lengths to make sure that no one got hurt.
Rodriguez Auto Repair is quiet now. No work is getting done on Miguel Sanchez's Mini Cooper. Outside the garage, just off Southeast 82nd Avenue, there is damage to other cars.
Son nine.
9 shots.
Yeah.
Shop owner Alonso Rodriguez is counting up the bullet holes from police guns fired Tuesday night. Officers fired at 49-year-old Robert Connolly, seen here in security video, armed and running from police into the auto shop garage. The video confirms what police say, that Connolly threatened them with a handgun and they fired on him, although they didn't hit him. Fortunately, shop owner Rodriguez and a friend were able to escape the garage to safety. But Sanchez was inside the waiting room as the suspect ran into the shop. With earbuds in, he didn't hear the gunfire at first. When it got his attention, he got up and moved.
I was hiding on that little cubby corner right there.
While Sanchez hid in this tight little spot, he considered what felt like his only option.
I had to kill this guy, because if I don't, he's going to kill me.
At that time, he says Connolly was trying to kick holes in the walls to escape. Then the suspect and hostage met.
And we cut eyes, and I was like, oh, man, I'm dead. So he's like, come on, man, I'm not going to hurt you.
For the next few hours, while police crisis negotiators and the CERT team responded, Sanchez was talking to Connolly. And despite the suspect smoking drugs from a pipe and saying he was ready to die, he listened when Sanchez shared his faith and talked forgiveness.
I don't care what you did today, bro. I'm not concerned or what you've done in your life. But he's willing to forgive you, and you walk out alive from here. But if you don't, you walk out there, they shoot you, you go straight to hell, and you will pay for eternity.
An act of tough love and kindness got Connolly to surrender peacefully.
He said, okay, I'm ready. I said, okay. God bless you, bro. You're going to be okay. So he opened the door, showed them his hands, and then he followed their instructions. And I just sat on the chair and I started just bawling and praying.
Miguel, you are a hero for what you did last night.
Well, it went from wanting to kill this man to so much compassion. I can see pain in his eyes.
It's the outcome Sanchez wanted for both suspect and hostage.
I wanted to make sure that I go home to see my grandkids and my kids and my family, man. That was my whole intention.
And police arrested Connolly on several outstanding warrants connected to gun crimes and sex abuse charges. Tim Gordon, KGW News.
That was an incredible story out of Southeast Portland. Meanwhile, we're still waiting to get some more information about a shootout that took place yesterday outside the Wild Horse Casino near Pendleton. Pendleton School District staff members happened to be at the casino for an event at the time of the shooting. Umatilla Tribal Police and other agencies arrived at the casino as a robbery suspect was trying to get away right in the middle of the afternoon. Police shot and injured the suspect, who is now in custody. A bystander was also shot and injured during this shootout.
My friend and I were just rushed into a back room, told to just keep very quiet, that there was an active shooter. No one knew for sure what was going on.
The Pendleton School District confirms that several staff members were there for a school event and one of them was injured. It's not clear, though, if that staff member was the bystander who was shot. A big crowd lined the streets of Bend to honor the Bend firefighter and his twin brother who died this week in a plane crash. Their bodies were brought back to Oregon on Wednesday after their plane went down in Idaho on Monday. Daniel Harrow worked as a firefighter paramedic in Bend after starting his career in Scappoose. Daniel and his brother Mark were on their way home from a camping trip when their plane went down. Daniel was the pilot. Friends and coworkers told us how much he loved the outdoors. Funeral plans are still in the works.